Hi, everyone. So I'm Sylvia Wright. I have been in education for over 20 years. I started out as a classroom teacher. My first leadership position was not a district coordinator, a department leader. Um, Eventually, I became a school coordinator, then an instructional coach, and then a district coordinator. That was my last leadership position. But I am currently running for state superintendent of education for South Carolina. So I resigned from my district coordinator position. But as far as an educational leader, um, I guess the biggest thing for me is, or that I've learned from being a leader, is making sure I'm building capacity in others. Because I remember when I first started in my leadership position as department leader, I thought that I had to know everything, and that if I didn't and someone asked me a question, then it would make me look weak. But that was me trying to control everything and be in control. But that's not what leadership's about. So when I see people who, you know, are acting like that, I immediately ask that, is this their first time being a leader? Because that seems like a shortfall for new leaders. If we don't have the proper mentorship, because I didn't have the proper mentorship, but I'm not pointing fingers at any means, but I'm just saying, like, having a mentor would have helped. And as far as action research goes, from what I read from the readings, I remember reading about how there used to be research where the school would, or the educational practitioners, they would implement someone else's research or someone else's idea. It wasn't theirs, and they were testing it for someone else. But with action research, it's actually relevant, because the argument for the other type of research was that it wasn't relevant to the people who were, experimenting. But with action research, it's basically a problem that you deal with practically, like, in your real life. And so you're trying to find like answers for, or solutions for a real life problem, which is awesome. That's why I enrolled in this program, because we talk about special education needing to change, but how do you change that? And then what? So that's sort of how I started my thinking. Like, what do I want to change? What do I want to see different? And then how? And then from there, conduct my action research. Um, so that's sort of my ideas about action research, and a little bit about me as an educational leader. Thank you.